Fontainebleau is considered the archetypal French forest. Its diversity is unique. More than half of its trees are oaks. Kings used to hunt here, and it's inspired generations of poets and painters. But Plot 354 no longer inspires anyone except to somber thoughts. 8 hectares of forest have fallen victim to the chainsaw. Jean Galbois says the clear-cutting was ruthless.
This is a battlefield, like after a bombardment in Iraq or Verdun. Why do they have to raze everything to the ground? Do they realize we won't see anything here for the next 20 to 30 years?
François Virelli, the director of the Fontainebleau Forestry Office, says the clear-cutting was necessary. He takes us into the forest to explain the problem.
Up there you can see very well that the tree has lost most of its branches, and even the largest boughs are starting to dry out. Fortunately, it doesn't affect all the trees, but you can see it clearly here.
The trees lack water due to climate change and have been getting sick for the last 15 years. A third of the forest is affected.
It doesn't rain much during the year here anyway, but now it's raining less during the growing season, and that's when the trees need the water most.
Now the foresters want to plant drought-resistant summer oaks in place of the winter oaks. That will secure the lumber harvest for the future. Why not plant date palms, asks Jean Galbois rhetorically. The environmentalists suspect the tree felling has less to do with environmental problems than with economic interests. These oaks are only half-grown, but their wood is in demand for wine barrels.
I feel like I'm in a graveyard.
The environmentalists' struggle to protect the forest is an old tradition that began in this village, Barbizon. An artists' colony arose here in 1830. The painters of the Barbizon school had a tremendous influence on landscape painting all over Europe, and they were the first nature protectionists.
Painters came here because they were interested in the forest, and they were so fascinated and enthusiastic about this unique environment that they became the first defenders of these natural surroundings. For example, Théodore Rousseau, who was a great master in the Barbizon school. Back then, he founded a society to protect Fontainebleau forest, and we owe it to them that the forest still looks as it did back then.
Napoleon III made the forest a protected nature preserve. Today, it draws hundreds of thousands of visitors. It was the world's first nature preserve. Barbizon profits from its fame. Every year, the village hosts 80,000 tourists seeking inspiration from art and nature. Georges Dalmand is one of the village's 4 painters. Naturally, the forest is a favorite subject.
This
is the plain of Apremont. It's a typical landscape of Fontainebleau forest, a little wild. The ground is covered with heather, and there are some oaks and young birches. And above it, the kind of sunset that we see here in Barbizon.
So far, the forest has stood up to all attacks, but it remains in danger from the saw, but also from climate change.